Friday morning, Veterans Day. Forgive the hair, please. My product is actually in the car because I got my hair cut yesterday, and so I left my brush and my hair goo in the car because I used it right after I got my haircut to style it. So you're gonna deal with this crap. Actually, not too bad. Looks pseudo stylish, I guess, for maybe this part right here. Oh, anyway, so thank you for all those who have and who are serving our country. And just remember, and Christopher David Bailey said it very well in a video earlier, this is Veterans Day, this is for all. Memorial Day is for those who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So today, and special thank you to Mr. David Munoz, the Coyote, sent me Sub-Commander Courage. David, thank you so much. As you see, peppercorn, citrus, and cedar. I'm always leery of cedar, but when I smell this soap, it's a beautiful blend. But again, it is Soap Commander. Dennis and Carrie, they have their game on lock, so to speak, and I'm 43. Saying game on lock is a little weird, but it just blends so nicely. And actually, the balm is even nicer. So David got me the matching setup here, and for the Cub celebration, and just a new great friend I'm looking forward to meeting at Big Shave West 3 in April, which is far off, but be here sooner than we all realize, so get ready for that. But yeah, I'm going to check these out. I love Soap Commander. As you know, I have vision, inspiration, passion, and now I have honor. So this is soap number 5. And honestly, this would be considered almost a barbershop scent in a way, because it's mild, it's blended. I mean, like, think Barrister Man Seville in terms of just a blend of the scents. It's, you know, I don't know, it's brilliant. Of course, it is Soap Commander, so again, bang for the buck too. One of the best per ounce costs around. I'm gonna do aftershave. I'm just gonna use a Barrister Man Reserve Classic. We'll use the Thayers, get that out of the way. And I should be good to go, so bear with the hair. Brush is going to be the Razorock 24mm Plissoft, and we're going to do third shave with the General. Makes sense, you know, Veterans Day, General. Again, Feather Pro Guard blade. It's been soaking, so now it's warmed up. So I'll bring the brush here. I'm out of the shower. I will wet the face. I did not bloom the soap, so we're just going to, I find the damper brush method is working for me, even with the synthetic, and going back to get more water is always the case. So I haven't done it with Soap Commander yet. I usually bloom Soap Commander, but we will see how this goes. So a lot of ugliness post election. I was having a good laugh watching David Gonzalez do his kind of pseudo troll thing. It was a lot of fun. I figured he was, and yeah, it was funny, but a lot of people were stirring. But I want to educate you all on this whole BS about making the popular vote count and no longer using the Electoral College. If you don't remember how the Constitution was written, when it was still the 13 colonies and then whatever else that factored in, the small states were scared that the more popular states would maintain more power. So Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, they were worried. Massachusetts, states like Georgia and the Carolinas and others were worried that everything would be maintained in a central power base. And they just got rid of a king. And so they established, of course, the 3 branches of government for checks and balances, but they also established a bicameral Congress. Bicameral meaning 2 houses, if you remember your basic government and U.S. history lessons. The Senate had equal representation from each state, so two members for each state into Congress. So we have 50 states, so we have 100 members in the Senate, plus the tiebreaker vice president, who is the president of the Senate. Great soap as always. Always get a good lather. I got 2 days growth here. So then we have the House of Representatives, which is based on representation by population. And the Senate is basically technically the stronger house That's why they have the 6-year terms and a few other things. There's more stability. So while Texas, California, New York, for example, have the most representation because they have more districts based on population, there's still balances in there because of the Senate. Well, the same thing is with the Electoral College. If you look at all the counties, if you take out all the red and you look at all the blue counties, just because there's that little, if you put that all together, I don't know what size state it would make, but it probably would make maybe Texas. Do you want one state telling the whole country what to do? And so the popular vote is really nice and all, but it's kind of a joke. Because you're talking like, it would be as if New York, Chicago, and LA dictated the rest of the country on how we should live. And that's not always a good thing. Then there are things they're probably a little smarter on. There's a lot of things they're not. Do you want them setting farm policy, for example? I mean, they don't know what it takes to operate other states. They barely operate themselves. New York is a train wreck. Chicago's worse. So all these people, even ones older than I am, they're all saying, oh, the popular vote should count because they didn't get their way. I'm sorry. Shut up. That means you don't respect our Constitution. You don't respect how we were established. You're an idiot. If you don't like the result, I'm sorry. But I certainly don't want... But I mean, I'm not talking issues. I just don't want certain people controlling everyone's destiny. And they live in, small population areas. Going to that kind of system would dictate everything would be a certain way, and people would be shut out even more. So, you want to win the Electoral College? Move, idiots. Then you got all these high school kids walking out in California, and kids crying in college, and because they didn't get their way. And I saw 2 high school kids that literally led this one march out of a school in I don't know if it was San Francisco area. I think it was San Francisco area. They go, oh, I got friends that are illegal and they're worried and all this stuff. Calm down. You're worried about words. You know how much is really going to change? Whether it was Trump or Clinton? Not much. Illegals with criminal records should go. Other ones that are doing their hardest to contribute to this country, they should probably have a path to citizenship. But they should also accept that they're Americans first now. If they're going to be a citizen, be proud of their heritage. But I'm sorry, once you're here and you're a citizen, you need to respect our laws, you need to respect our way of life, and exercise your now given rights as a citizen and vote and whatever to contribute to that. We can all disagree, and we have methods in terms of the ballot and protest and petitioning and things of that nature to get our points across. But don't come here and try to all of a sudden rewrite the system. Whether it's trying to separate and have Sharia law courts like they're doing in England now, which is an embarrassment. Jurisdiction is dictated by borders, not by religion, not by ethnicity. That's why it's called the law of the land, folks. You're in the land. There is a law. So, I suggest you get with the game. I respect everyone, unless you disrespect me, and then whatever you get from me after that is not my concern, and you ought to be worried. I have a gay friend who is married, And he's very concerned because of Mike Pence. Sorry, the court's not going to roll back gay marriage. They're not going to roll back abortion no matter what Trump said in that debate. If they do, and I'm wrong, I feel sorry. But I think at a certain point it's not going to happen. But things need to progress correctly as opposed to just having the court dictate law. They need to go through the voting process and Congress. Congress makes law, not the courts. Courts interpret law. If, again, back to your basic civics lessons. Executive branch enforces the law. And so I'm so disappointed that so many of my fellow citizens don't respect that. I don't have, they'll unfriend people. They have no sense of the humor. They say, I respect the office, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure the Republicans don't put us backwards. You're actually devolving us into mob rule liberal Democrats. You realize that? Now, folks, when I give this criticism, don't mistake it for saying I support, like evangelical Christian conservatives, because I'm actually more classically liberal in my stances, like for abortion, gay marriage, stuff like that. What I'm talking about is process. You're supposed to use the process. You want to change the process? Fine, but that has to get voted. There has to be an amendment. There has to be some law that overrides another. There has to be a repeal. God, you idiots just think you're going to set fire to stuff and cause damage, and you're only hurting your own cities and neighborhoods. I mean, you're really embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you because you're too stupid to be embarrassed by your own actions. It's really heartbreaking that I have to call you fellow citizens because you can't even exercise your right in a way that looks out for others. You're selfish. And selfish is not the way to be. You're disrespectful, and you don't have my respect for your actions because of the way you're executing them. Again, process. And if, for example, this causes you to unsubscribe from my channel, bye. I don't need ignorant people like you who would unsubscribe because I'm expressing my opinion and clarifying my stances, and you're going to be judgmental cunts. And here's the thing. I'll shoot you straight. You ask me a question, I'll answer your question. But I won't tolerate incivility. So if you're one of those people that I have labeled a cunt, you earned that title. I wouldn't call you that unless you earned it. You can't be civil in a discussion or a disagreement. You are, as Dennis Green famously said when they almost beat some undefeated team and when he was coach of the Cardinals, rest in peace, Dennis. since he passed away last year. Late last year. He says we are who he thought they were. They weren't the unstoppable juggernaut. They had weaknesses. They just let him. They sort of let him go. But they weren't. They weren't like the. They weren't New England most of that year until they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. That kind of thing. They were. This team, whoever it was pretty vulnerable. May have been New England. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But feeling around. Yeah, I'm going to do a little pickup here in my normal neck areas. But, again, I've said this before in other videos. If you don't understand what I'm telling you, take a hard look at yourself. Because obviously your brain isn't functioning. You are putting the whims of yourself. And don't tell me, oh, no, I'm thinking about other people. No, you're not, because you're too stupid to understand the process. If you were thinking about other people, you would work within the system. And if you're older than I am and you disagree and think we should get rid of the Electoral College, then you shouldn't even be a citizen. And some of you may have served this country and disagree with me, but you know what? Then if you want to change it, get legislation into the system. Talk to your Congress people. And they don't do anything for you, find one that will and vote the other people out. Use the system. But apparently no, you don't like the system. You don't like the system because you're protesting it. Yet you're the president who you like, and I'm not saying I dislike him, but I'm targeting you, saying you like, said respect and peaceful transition of power. But you're going against even him because you're assholes and cunts and twats and morons. So, take a goddamn hike as far as I'm concerned. I will not live in a country where there's mob rule. I would rather, if someone's going to go to mob rule, I will defend myself against you. Because you're more of a threat to America than anything else. Everyone said, George Takei said, taking the oath says, enemies foreign and domestic. He said, well, Donald, you're the domestic, you're the latter, you're a domestic threat. No, George. Asshole. I love your work, but I don't care if you were in an internment camp. I don't care if you're gay. You don't have to have a fucking opinion on everything, George Takei. You're a fucking actor regardless of who you are. Sorry that happened in 1940 whatever. It's not going to happen again. You're all morons. Fucking idiots. Yeah, I'm upset about this because you're wrecking my country. I mean the protesters, not George Takei. But the attitude is, you don't respect the rule of law. You don't respect your fellow citizens' right to exercise their rights. You didn't get your way, so you want to take your ball and go home. Well, to that I say, fuck you. This is my protest. Protest against all you wusses, quimbies, weenies, bitch boys. I'm actually angry about this one because the more I see it, and I bite my tongue a lot, but I'm done with it. I'm done with all you who I could agree with you on the stances, but you don't respect the system. You don't have any tact. You don't respect the rule of law in our Constitution. So why should I respect you? Because when I try to explain it to you, you're not going to respect me because you think I'm against you when I'm not. And I'm having the courage to say it finally. Yeah, I'm mad. I'll calm down, but I'm doing this as a public person on my page with all 135 of my subscribers, and thank you. And if some of you leave because of it, bye. Because that means you don't respect my opinion, and you don't respect what I'm saying, and you don't respect the process. Now I'm going to go out and enjoy my day. I'm not going to go shit on someone because they voted for Hillary. And I'm not going to protest something. I'm not going to set something on fire. I'm going to live my life happily. You know what? I didn't vote. You want to know why I didn't vote? Because Trump, I'm in a red state. My vote for Trump would be as meaningless as my vote for Hillary. And going for Jill Stein or Gary Johnson wasn't going to do anything either. I knew already Texas was going to go red. And it did. It was inevitable. Just as California is going to be blue till the end of time, right? So, one man, one vote doesn't even matter because you think it does, but the process is it's by the states, the Electoral College. So I knew better. I already knew the result. Because I analyze things. I see patterns. I pay attention to history. Sorry, y'all don't. Don't need much balm. So if you don't like this rant, fine. Thumbs down, leave a comment. I don't care. Because I know you're going to be wrong. Because you're not understanding what I'm saying. Because you just don't have enough respect to respect the process and make change happen the way it's supposed to. Even if I agree with you, like I said. Yeah, I'm good with abortion. I'm good with gay marriage. I'm good with a lot of things that are considered on the liberal agenda, the progressive agenda. But I'm not for the way they do it. Respect the Constitution. Respect the country. Respect fellow citizens. Don't destroy property. Don't go crying and get your professor to, delay quizzes. You're on your mommy's and daddy's dime in college. Walk out of high school because you're too fucking stupid. You're walking out of school and you haven't even taken your damn classes to understand how the process works. That's why you're out on the fucking streets like a moron. Yeah, you have friends who are illegals and whatever else. Well, you know what? They're not going to be raided and deported, but you're all living in fear. Fine, live in fear. Be cowards. You have no courage. Pussies. You're pussies. You disgust me. I'm sorry. This isn't happy-go-lucky Ken today. It will be when I turn off this video. But I'm telling you some hard truths that you need to respect. You can't respect this country that gives you so much, that allows you to be little bitches and cunts and twats and weasels and weenies and crybabies and... You know what? You have no balls. You have no guts. You're a bunch of cowards that are turning this country into something shitty. And I won't tolerate that. I will not. I will not. So with that, you don't like this video, again, unsubscribe, thumbs down, leave a comment, fine. I'm not making money from this. I'm telling you some truths that if you don't like hearing them, you need to go pick up your civics book again and take a hard read. Because you're the problem. Have a good day, folks. This has been Ken with jacked up hair, a beautiful shave from a good friend who inspired me with a little courage today. Sorry. I'll break bread with anybody, but some of you need to look in the mirror really hard. Good day.